In A Streetcar Named Desire, Blanche Dubois remarks, "I've always depended on the kindness of strangers when the doctor comes to take her away. This displays her detachment from reality, the illusion that she will be taken care of, that people are considerate and thoughtful and have her best interests at heart. She's quite delusional by this point." Which leads me to my opinions about being off in public. When my meds don't work and I fall down in public, the first thing that I encounter is stigma. Not pain, not humiliation, not feeling afraid about my reputation or what people think of me, but actual fear of danger, of being attacked, ridiculed, persecuted, and judged for being an addict of something unknown. You see, people don't know what they're looking at. They don't realize that neurological conditions include involuntary muscle contraction, include involuntary freezing, paralysis, dystonia, also dyskinesias, which are the jerky movements you see when there's too much carbidopa in my system and in the systems of people who have Parkinson's. There are many drugs that counteract this, medications you can be given for the side effects of the other medications that are necessary to help you move and focus and function. We don't have a choice. We have to take these medications at a certain point. For the first 5, maybe even 10 years, you can glide along with Parkinson's just fine if you're young, healthy, and the right circumstances are present. After that, good luck. There is no stopping the progression of this disease that we know of. Sure, you can work out and use essential oils and go see a shaman and do all the right things. You can have a cat. You can have a support animal. You can have a lover. You can do whatever you want. But Parkinson's takes no prisoners. It's merciless. Parkinson's is a mercenary. So don't be relying or depending on the kindness of strangers, because strangers ain't gonna know what they're seeing. You might fall to your knees at the edge of somebody's lawn, and they'll sit there and ponder instead of coming out to ask you if you're all right. They'll say, "Oh, I was in the back of my house. I didn't see what was going on. Yeah, I just thought I'd just kneel here on the grass. Worship your lawn like everybody else does." By the way, what's up with the lawn worship? Why is everybody so worried about their landscaping their lawns? Do they realize that's going to destroy their neurology with the sprays and the pesticides and the Roundup? And, yeah, I don't have any weeds, but I have a brain tumor. It's so funny. I don't get the lawn thing. I don't care about crabgrass. I care about getting cancer or leukemia or Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis or ataxia or PSA, PM. There's all these different PSP. There's all these different things you can trigger from your genetic template with just the right chemicals in your food, groundwater, and a lot of that comes from your lawn or your golf course or whatever. Watch what you're doing there. Anyway, I digress with that joyful note. Good morning. How's your cereal? Watch out for that wheat. They spray that a lot. There's always a threat, right? You got to do what you got to do. You can't walk around covering yourself with a plastic bag and not touching anything and not eating anything bad for you. Sugar itself is dangerous because it's hard to digest and causes other problems. You will always find a potential threat. This is why meditation has been important in prayer. The only time I can witness truly and reflect and see reality a little bit closer to how it really is when I'm quiet. I'm quiet a lot, believe it or not. When you see me on interviews or when I'm finally in public, I'm almost manically excited because I don't talk to anybody but my cat for about 80% of the time. I require a lot of alone time to rejuvenate, just like a lot of classic introverts who present as extroverts. A little of both, I suppose. We all have these combinations. What I don't understand is all the storylining. If people were to pause and really try to notice what they're seeing, it would be obvious that a lot of the things that are judged and misinterpreted and scrutinized, or the way that people are looking, they're entirely wrong. I waved at a neighbor the other day. He looked right at me, smirked, and looked away. And I thought, that's weird. Must be having a bad day. So I did it again the next day, because I'm a fool. And he did the same thing, just looked at me like with scorn. And I came to realize over time, through a mutual neighbor, that he thinks I'm an addict. Like, he thinks I'm on drugs all the time. I'm causing trouble, and I'm a drunk. Which is funny because I don't drink. I was walking down the street. I mean, I've had a drink with food before, but I don't get drunk ever. My meds just go off. It's sort of funny to me because maybe once upon a time that could have been true. But what if both things are true? What do people do? I don't know. I think about this a lot because people treat perceived addiction horribly. They are cruel, relentless, judgy, scornful, hostile even. Some guy came out to the parking lot of a restaurant looking like he wanted to fight me because I got into my car and sat down to get away from him, actually. I tried to talk to some people who weren't that interested in talking to me because I didn't feel safe. But that's because I didn't want to be sitting there alone. Yeah. Alert. There's a thin lady who seems to be wiggly jiggly at Olive Garden. Alert the authorities. Wow, they cracked the case on that one. The guy proceeded to take a video of me and follow me out to the car, and so I just sat there and waved. I'm like, hello. It's not going to be very interesting to very many people. It's Parkinson's, dummy. It's just Parkinson's. Do I have to wear a shirt? Am I that bad? When I get wiggly in public, it's no big deal, folks. Everybody calm down. The situation is under control. Call the cops so that we can inform them what Parkinson's looks like. Parkinson's looks like someone who slurs their words sometimes and who steps around like a zombie. In fact, Frankenstein might have been conceived of after the writer saw their grandparent or someone else who has one of the neurological diseases and is stiff trying to walk at night to the bathroom. Put your arms out. Oh, never mind. I'm going to start insulting everybody now. People get so upset. Come on, it's funny. So I was on my knees by the side of the road. Maybe people thought that I was trying to practice to be a Muslim. I don't know. I was bending down and putting my forehead to the ground. A guy on a bike rode by and smiled at me, kind of smirky. I'm like, help. He just kept riding. Again, I'm not admonishing anyone. I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying people don't know what they're looking at. That includes me. I do not know what I am seeing unless I'm experiencing it myself. And not everyone's experiencing Parkinson's. How could they possibly know what's going on? Do we need to educate everyone? Nope, not my job. Do we need to stay safe? Yes. And education and information helps us feel safe. If you inform and educate in the moment, that's the best you can do. So I said to the guy who followed me out to the parking lot, oh, you'd like to give a donation to the Davis Finney Foundation? He didn't know who Davis Finney was, and I'm like, well, that's a clue right there that you're not very smart, dude. So I ended the conversation Maybe I should have said Michael J. Fox or Parkinson's Foundation or the American Parkinson's Associations. I mean, there's so many of them. The APDA, there's PMA, there's a gazillion, I could have said. And they're all great in their own way. Brian Grant. I could have said any of the people that I've worked for. Cure Parkinson's Trust. The UK people, by the way, are just phenomenal. Great new video about surviving. We will survive indeed. And I don't need to play Blanche and be under the illusion that everybody's going to help out. And that's not about privilege, by the way. That was a desperate plea for help. That wasn't like, hey, I'm a privileged white woman on my knees. I know someone will help me. Nope, wasn't about that. It was about, wow, I'm down on my knees. I really can't move. This paralysis is scary. I'm by the side of the road, and my phone screen will not tap on. The screen tapping had stopped. I had messed with the accessibilities with an Apple professional, and we did it wrong. So I could not utilize my phone to call out. And the watch had died and did not record my fall. So folks, when you go on your walks, either wear a great big sign that says, I have Parkinson's disease, in some form like Puck Parkinson's or something, or have a medical wristband, an alert, an alarm, something you can press with just one button. Make sure your electronics are charged. And Blanche ain't gonna get you anywhere, so don't expect anybody to save you. Although, I want to give a shout out to my niece, my nephew, both brothers, and all the people who came to help me, including Allison, who is an angel, one of the people who helps me regularly. Her parents raised her right. Y'all did good. I love this community, and I'm going to keep trying. And I love my community with Parkinson's. I'm going to keep trying. My cat's going to keep destroying my plants. What are you doing, dude? He said, Mom, meatloaf. Mom, meatloaf. Okay, meatloaf it is. See you soon.